What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Pokemon Legends Arceus. The last episode, the first episode, was a meaty one. We had a lot to do to get started with this game, including passing the trial, which is going to allow us to get into the survey cores. And we passed it with flying colors, so now we are reporting back to Captain Silene. Just re-entered the village, and Ray is basically just giving us the lowdown of how all of this works. Most Pokemon a person can have with them while out exploring is 6, apparently. Not that we can we have anyone who can manage that. So, yeah, just giving us some idea of how this all works, because obviously there are still some conventions that Game Freak was unable or I guess unwilling to move away from with a game like this. I feel like adding more than 6 Pokemon would be a little bit extreme, but it's not like you can't switch out very easily, and we'll talk about how all that works in due time. Can't wait to see the captain's reaction. So, I guess we should probably head back, huh? So we got Roddy with us, Bidoof, Starly, and Shinx. Now, you're probably wondering, am I going to nickname all these? Are these all part of my team? Not exactly. It's going to get a little bit more complicated in this game, because obviously it's not like any other Pokemon game where I can just pick and choose whatever I want to catch at any given time. But this lady, I wonder what a Starly would like. You go spoiled apricorns at wild Pokemon to make them drop their defenses. They'll be easier to catch. Okay, well, I was going to ask about the little thought bubble above your head, but I guess I can't do that at least yet. So let's head on into the headquarters and see what I'm sure is going to be a very animated reaction from someone as deadpan as Silene. Seems we won't have to leave you to die after all. Congratulations. You've passed your trial. You can hold on to that satchel. I must admit, you've impressed me. I set a high hurdle to judge whether a stranger like yourself could be worthy, but you cleared it. This is yours, the official uniform of the Survey Corps. Received a Survey Corps uniform and a pair of Survey Corps sandals. Get changed in the room you used last night, then you're to report at once to the 3rd floor. Present yourself in uniform to our commander. This is your first official order from your captain. Okay, so it looks like Silene isn't the big head honcho here. There is somebody yet above her. So we're going to want to go and get changed really quickly before we do anything else. We got to be an official member of the Survey Corps, of course. So let's do that. And I have to admit, I really do like the design of the clothing in this game. It's really good. So let's do that, and we can go into the menu. There's not obviously a ton of options here, but if you want to, you can actually change the color of your character's eyes in here right from the get-go, which is pretty cool. I am going to go with a blue here to start, and then we're going to want to put on the sandals, and then of course the Survey Corps uniform. And is that all? I do believe that is all. Okay, let's go with that. Perfect. Changing to Survey Corps uniform. All right. Look at you in the Survey Corps uniform. Now it finally feels like you're one of us. But I do wonder when the captain decided to go ahead and get a uniform ready for you. I see you've changed. Regarding your accommodations, you may continue to use the room you slept in last night. You may wear this as well. And the design is complete. Rocking that look, Akari. Proud of you. Now present yourself to the commander. All right, so up we go. So we got to go all the way up to the 3rd floor to meet Commander Kamado, which 3rd floor doesn't have a lot going on. In fact, it's literally just his office. Which I always found very silly and redundant. And that is one heck of a mustache. I mean, my goodness, dude. I have been waiting for you. I am Kamado, commander of the Galaxy Expedition Team. So you are Akari. Yes, sir. I've been briefed on your situation, including how you fell from the rift in the sky. Now then, let's see what you're made of. Face me in combat. Yeah! Come here. I don't think that worked out so well. You got vigor, I'll give you that. You need to work on your sumo technique, but I do see some potential. What do you mean? So we can't do sumo technique without a proper dojo, excuse me. Don't expect a warm welcome from everyone. Naturally, some will be slow to trust an outsider who literally fell right out of the blue. The superstitious among us might see your arrival as a portent of a disaster. But you passed the trial that was put to you. No matter how odd you may seem, you're part of Jewel Life Village now. Dedicate yourself to the work of the Galaxy Expeditioning and complete the Pokedex. But I warn you, Akari, Pokemon are terrifying creatures. Keep your wits about you as you work. Galaxy Team's entry trial is complete. And there we go. So what now, I wonder? What mission do you have for us, Silene, to get started on all of this? The commander has also accepted you. But understand this. You begin as a no-star recruit among our ranks. In other words, you have no rank at all. Perform well as a member of the Survey Corps, and you will move up through the ranks. Indeed, you see, the more you add to the Pokedex, the higher your rank will become. And working on the Pokedex will also, of course, bring you closer towards that goal of yours, to seek out every last Pokemon, the goal of mine as well. Here, you will need this. We obtained a recipe for crafting Pokeballs. We needed 1 apricorn and 1 tumblestone, evidently. And $3,000 as well. Okay, thank you. Or sorry, Poke, excuse me. I know it's more of an equivalent to yen, but whatever. Ray, you are an expert at crafting yourself. Teach our new recruit what she needs to know. Yes, ma'am, Captain. Get ready for a lesson in crafting. Crafting means making items from scratch. That's right. Whatever you need in your survey work, you'll mostly make yourself. Some things you can buy at the general store, but it's good to try to be self-sufficient, especially because money is actually very hard to come by in this game. This way we can even catch Pokemon with Pokeballs we've crafted ourselves. Listen to me, Padawan. Let's go to the Craftwork so you can try it yourself. So let's activate that as a guide and see what we have to do. So let's head on outside and get a little bit of a lesson in this whole spiel. Where are we going exactly? Well done earning a place in our team. My name is Anth. I'm a local clothier. The professor asked that I ready you a change of clothes, so here you go. I do hope they fit. Received an everyday kimono and a pair of everyday trousers. I guess when we're not doing survey work, that'll be nice. I hope you'll avail yourself of this village's humble shops. Well, thank you. That was very sweet. Hey, this way to the Craftworks. All right. Ray, you have a stunning animation. I just want to let you know. I will. Okay, well, let's address that for a second. Elephant in the room, obviously. I know a lot of people do not think that this game is very pretty looking. And you know what? You're right. It's not very pretty looking. It's kind of hideous. But I think it gets the job done. I'm not going to sit here and praise the game's visuals at any point, obviously. But it's enough for what the rest of this game offers. And I also think that because everything else about the game is so good, it doesn't really detract too much. This here's the Craftworks, and that there is the workbench. It's where you craft things. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Yeah, I have to get down. I guess I have to sit down with my legs crossed to actually access that thing, which is a little bit strange, but okay. Step up to the workbench. I'll supply you materials to make some Pokeballs. Call it a present to celebrate you passing the trial. As for the money the captain gave you, feel free to spend that however you like. Any recipes you get should tell you what materials you need to complete them. At the workbench, just choose what you want to make and get crafting. Okay, so crafting is incredibly simple in this game. So we walk up to it, and boom, we instantly have apricorns and tumblestones. 20 of each, in fact, which means we can make 20 Pokeballs. Incredibly simple. However, you can actually cycle through all sorts of different items, and yes, you can even make healing items and stuff like that. And as we go further throughout the game, you will see that it gets a little bit more tricky knowing what you're going to need. Not to mention, as you start to get better and better items throughout the game, it's going to get to a point where you're going to need the several of the crappier items to craft the better items, if that makes sense. You'll understand more in the future. Oh ho, now that's some fine craftsmanship. Hard to believe this was your first time stepping up to the workbench, my girl. Gosh, he is such a goofy-looking dude. You recall, of course, that Pokemon possess the odd power to shrink themselves down. With the Pokeballs we craft, you can make use of that power to catch them. I do think it's interesting that they actually confirmed that it's the Pokemon that shrink them down, not the effect of the Pokeballs. And we've received our Pokedex officially. a volume for compiling the collected results of much Pokemon research. Professor Venton continually adds to it with each report made on the new Pokemon species. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. I love the way that the Pokedex is handled in this game. So right off the bat, we can only see entries of Pokemon that we have actually seen. Ordered chronologically. We can also switch to Obsidian Fieldlands if we want to look at just that area-specific decks. We can at least see their types and what they look like, but as of right now, we don't really know anything else about them. However, if we go into the next page, you can see that we have all sorts of little tasks that are necessary to complete in regards to each Pokemon. So like with Cyndaquil, need to catch a few. See it use Ember, Quick Attack, Flame Wheel, Strong Style and Agile style moves, and also evolving it. This also applies to Rowlet, Oshawott, Togepi, Bidoof, Starly, Shinx, etc. You can see with Oshawott, we actually have a couple of things filled in with that little yellow highlighting around the one. But something else to take into consideration. So as we unlock more of these tasks, we will increase the research level on the Pokemon. We can only increase it up to a certain level before it becomes not necessarily useless, but we've at least maxed it out on that Pokemon in particular. Of course, we can complete every single task on this page should we want to. But here's the trick, okay? See the red arrows next to the items on the list? So particularly against number caught, times you've seen it use Aqua Jet, and number you've evolved. These are going to give you advanced progress towards increasing the research level on a Pokemon. These are going to help you fill out the Pokedex a lot faster, and they are generally the ones that you're going to want to focus on first before you move on to the other tasks. So that's something to keep in mind. You can also obviously look at the habitat, which is like any other Pokedex, but all in all, probably and hilariously the most useful Pokedex that the Pokemon series has ever had, and it's the only one that's not electronic, which is just hilarious to me. But all right, let's get out of here. You can also see tasks with unreported data. That is also something to keep in mind. We're going to want to have as many of those tasks as possible when returning to Professor Laventon to increase our research points. But we're going to back out of that for now. I prepared this volume just for you. I hope it aids you well in your aim to seek out all the Pokemon there are in this grand region. I'll take plenty of research tasks to help the professor complete the Pokedex. Got to get going on those myself. I'd be all too happy to explain more about the research tasks I could use your assistance with. Come join me at the Fieldlands camp whenever you have the chance. So, we're going to want to do exactly that. This is going to allow us to finally play the game proper. Took about an hour to get to this point, but hey, we're there. Well, almost. Hey, excuse me, I couldn't help it over here. If you're going to the Fieldlands camp, would you mind taking care of a request for me? I'm standing guard, so I can't leave my post, but I'll be here at the headquarters if you want to talk about it. So, this is our first introduction to requests, which, like I said before, are side quests. So, let's talk to Beauregard. Hey, so there's this Pokemon called Wurmple. Have you heard of it? Yeah, actually. Well, you see, I was having a chat with Professor Laventon, and he told me that after a Pokemon gains a certain amount of experience through battling and the like, it will sometimes change its appearance and become stronger. He said it was a phenomenon called evolution, which we already know about, but... And so I decided I want to raise a Wurmple myself and have it evolve. You're part of the Survey Corps, aren't you? If you catch a Wurmple, could you let me have it? There'll be a reward in it for you, I promise. Just get me a Wurmple if you can. Okay, so that is now a request that we have active. Catch a Wurmple and give it to Beauregard. But before we get out of here, we have a few more requests we can take. Let's talk to this lady. You're that newcomer who fell from the sky. Are you heading outside the village? Of course you are. The Survey Corps must have to get out and about to compile that Pokedex book they're working on, right? Well, on your way, kindly do me a favor. Find out all about Starly. Pokemon certainly are terrifying creatures, but when I see Starly, I feel simply whole. Not that I have the least desire to actually touch one, mind you. Please let me see Starly's entry in the Pokedex the moment you've completed it. Okay, so with this one, we can't just so much as catch a Starly, we need to actually complete its Pokedex entry, which we do have Starly with us, so we are going to have to actually refer to the Pokedex and see what sort of tasks are necessary. So we need to catch a certain amount, number we've caught without being spotted, number we've defeated, number of different forms we've obtained, and also the number that we've evolved. And we've also got a few unknown tasks that we can probably get later. Let's talk to this person as well. I know Shinx's ears had odd markings on the insides, but what were they? No use. I can't remember. Those will keep me up all night. Hey, aren't you with the Survey Corps? If you catch a Shinx, could you show it to me? I got to see one with my own eyes. Please, I can't remember for the life of me what those ears look like. It's driving me up the wall. Well, fortunately enough, we can actually do that right now. So let's show him Shinx. Alrighty, let's have a peek at those round ears. Look at those little star ears. That's it. Its ears have that yellow cross pattern on them, kind of like a star. Can't tell you what a relief this is. Felt like I had a bone stuck in my throat. Only the throat's my brain and the bone's a thought. Thanks for helping me get that bone out. Okay, I don't want you to ever say thanks for helping me get that bone out to me again. But we do get 3 potions for our troubles, which is pretty nice. Every single request you complete has a certain reward attached to it. Almost always items of some sort. So let's get the heck on out of here and head off to the Obsidian Fieldlands. Go straight to the Fieldlands camp. And finally, we are going to actually be let loose on the area, which is generally very exciting. Of course, we're going to have a little bit of extra fluff before we get to that point. Righto, let's get to it then, shall we? In order to complete this Pokedex of ours, there are many great research tasks I'll need you to help carry out, my girl. The details of these tasks can be found in the Pokedex for you to reference anytime. Okay, yeah, we already know that. Must catch and battle diverse Pokemon species and carry out plenty of research tasks. Do so and you'll gain research points and other rewards for your work. Now, there's one more nugget of wisdom I've got to share, Akari. Wild Pokemon may attack you at any time. When they do, dodge like your life depends on it. Come again? Look, just watch me, would you? Then you'll be able to copy what I do. So, these built up a lot of fanfare to do a dodge roll, essentially. But there it is! You can actually dodge roll in this game. Timely dodge will keep you from getting hurt by the fierce attacks of wild Pokemon, and that's key if you'd rather not end up blacked out in some field like I did. Yes, in this game, the Pokemon themselves can actually hurt you. And that is something to keep in mind. I actually have to demonstrate this in the future, how this all works. But, yeah, we can dodge, and we do so by pressing Y, which is very, very simple. It's obviously always on screen at any given time. Now I'm going to head down here to Ray really quickly because he is going to give us a little bit more stuff. Get ready for some Survey Core Wisdom. Focus on Pokemon and the yellow button and press down to open the Pokedex. You'll see what tasks you have for that Pokemon, which is pretty cool. Did you see that research task for Bidoof include one about how many you've caught? That's right, catching just one won't do it. You've got to get 2, then 4, then more and more. And when it's time to battle a Pokemon, remember the captain's switching wisdom. If you have items out, press X to ready your Pokemon. Give it a try. Yes, indeed. So, we'll head further down the hill in a moment, but I'm going to catch myself a Bidoof here by throwing it straight up. We'll see if we can catch it that way, which is probably not 100% likely, but we did it. Okay, so you can also see in the top left, next to where a Bidoof caught, you saw the number caught went from, says 2 out of 3. That tells you the progress you are making on that research task. So, if I can, let me get out of its sight a little bit and catch it with a back strike, and that will be a 3rd one, probably. There we go. Okay, so, and as you can see, we're getting a little bit more experience for all of our critters, which is great. Bidoof, if you don't mind, you know, actually, I might as well just throw another Pokeball at you. Or I could just completely miss. But don't worry, because it is not an aggressive Pokemon, I can still throw a Pokeball at it right then and there, and I love how that counted as a back strike. It's honestly hilarious. And there we go. All right, so 2 more Bidoof, and we'll have yet gotten another research task done. But we're going to head up a little further and talk to Ray. Don't lay it on thick, but don't forget to open your Pokedex when you focus on a Pokemon. Check your research task for it. Yes, okay. So we'll actually do that on Starly this time, because I do need to actually work on completing that thing's Pokedex entry. That was one of the requests that we were given back in the village. So this time, I'm going to get up here. We're going to get down as they try to... All right, and then we're going to want to press down, and there we go. We can actually see Starly's tasks in particular. So we need to catch at least 2 more, or battle a few as well, which is something we can do. I like how this Starly is a little bit on the bigger side. I'm going to catch that one, which I love how this one didn't notice that at all. But this Starly, on the other hand, I am actually going to fight it. Let's do it. Okay, so do a standard battle once again, and it ran away because it's a skittish type. So sometimes when you're going up against, like I said, specifically the skittish types, they can just straight up take off. So with Pokemon like that, if you're going to want to get a battle in on them, you are going to want to get them with a back strike, which I will demonstrate here in a minute. In fact, I will demonstrate on this Shinx, because there are a couple of benefits to getting a back strike when throwing your actual Pokemon at them as opposed to just an empty Pokeball. So let's see if I can show this on this Shinx here. So I'm going to get around you, little guy, and then hit you. So you caught Shinx unawares. This is what this is going to do, okay? So I am going to use Aqua Jet on this thing because I need to get it. It probably won't outright take it out. Now, it says Shinx was caught unawares and is unable to move. So you get a free extra turn to attack whenever that happens. And they will not be able to run away during that period. So I'm going to use Aqua Jet again. And that should take care of the Shinx, which is going to add some information to our Pokedex. Beautiful, and also give us a little bit more experience along the way. All right, so Ray has gone further that way. There's a guy guarding the bridge. We're going to actually kind of move off over in this direction. So this Starly, I'm actually going to try to get a backstrike on it really quickly. So if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of move around. Actually, it just turned around on me. Ow! What in the world? That thing, it just flipped around on me. Are you kidding me? Little Starly, you are a punk, aren't you? He was ready for me. I may have also sabotaged myself in that circumstance. Get down from that rock, you silly little bird. All right, well, let's kind of do a little bit of sneaking around over here. And we'll instead try to get it from down here with the backstrike. And there we go. Okay, so this time, this Starly is not going to be able to get away from us. It's also only level 2. So let's use another Aqua Jet here, which, little bit of an interesting position. It's over, Ocelot! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power! And this time, actually, Anakin won, so... There it is! And we get some apricorns for our troubles as well as some more medicinal leeks, so let's grab those as we continue to head further this way. So something I want to draw your attention to. Let's open up the... map a little bit. So right here, Aspiration Hill. This is the only area that we have actually found, but it's only within the dotted lines over here. There is a whole other area over this way that we're going to be heading into, and the thing about different areas on the map is that they hold different Pokemon depending on different times of days, and you can also get different items in those areas and things of that nature. In fact, as we get into this area, you can see we have now run into a Wurmple, and I am supposed to catch one of these things for a certain request. So let's see if we can do that. That one might get out. It did not. Okay, so we caught ourselves a Wurmple right off of the bat. Also throw Roddy at that, so I can get that. We also have another Pokedex request for catching these without being spotted. So why don't we see if we can get ourselves a couple more? That one I have caught without being spotted, but I did not get the back strike. We still got it, though, which is good. And now, if I can back up, let's get this one to turn around, and then I can get my third Wurmple, and that should be enough for... I'm actually just going to try one from the side here. Oh, nope, we got the back strike. It turned around just in time. Let's see, we got it? Nope, that one actually got out. Okay, let's try that again. I think I missed my shot there. Okay, now this one is aware of us, but I'm just going to throw it at it. Oh, nope, it vanished on me. Yep, okay, so Wurmple are skittish like that, so you do have to be aware of that sometimes. Let's try it on this guy. I honestly don't mind that I'm wasting Pokeballs here every once in a while, because you kind of just need to throw caution at the wind and catch as much as you can. Wait, what is going on here? Hello? What? Whoa, okay, Ray just spawning out of thin air. Around here, you can find a Pokemon called Weasel. It's got an aggressive disposition. And Weasel is adorable, but unfortunately, I already have a water type on my team. Means it'll try to hit you with its move just like Shinx, and you'll need to battle it to catch it. So let's see if we can get ourselves one of these guys. So we need to worry about taking damage. If you wish, your research task for Weasel includes seeing it use a certain move. Got to see the move in battle for it to count toward that task, so battling is extra key here. Going on ahead, come catch up once you've checked off some of Weasel's tasks. Okay, we will do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run up here, and we are going to try to grab Weasel's attention. So it's going to notice us, and I'm going to show how dodging works and also how taking damage works. So I'm going to let this thing hit me. And watch that once I take damage here, you'll see that the borders of the screen start to get covered in a little bit of ink. You can only take so many hits before, and I'm going to dodge again here, but you can only take so many hits before you'll black out. Now, the healing period is actually incredibly long when you're taking hits. So you can't just sit here and wait for the timer to run out. You actually need to make some distance between you and the aggressive Pokemon if you want to heal. So I'm going to grab those Tumblestones there, and then we're going to get ourselves in the fight here. So let's do it. And because we're attacking it head on, I'm actually going to let it do some damage. So we'll watch it use Quick Attack there. We are going to tackle it right back. Come on, Buizel. Keep doing damage. There's another quick attack. That's fine. I will do another tackle because I would like to see you use 3 quick attacks if possible. All right, perfect. That is probably enough. Now, we are going to actually throw a Pokeball at this thing because we do want to catch it for the sake of our Pokedex. Because catching and defeating a Pokemon net the same amount of experience. I have to say, because a lot of people like to criticize Pokemon for the shared experience mechanic, which I can understand, rightfully so. But in this game in particular, it makes so much more sense because you're constantly rotating Pokemon in and out of your team, which is something to keep in mind. Okay, so as we get up this way, we're going to start to run into some more Pokemon that we haven't actually seen before. And I'm going to keep a really keen eye out for those in particular, because there are some certain Pokemon that I would like to actually be able to get here. So we got some Bidoof over here. And I think I'm actually going to start a battle with this one in particular, because we haven't really knocked a bunch of them out. So let's use Aqua Jet here, and I do need to heal Roddy, which I'll do in a second. Don't worry. Bidoof, you're going to run away? Oh, never mind. It ran away. I probably should have caught it unawares. I guess that's fine. We're getting those Aqua Jets in. So if we take a look at our Pokedex, actually, we can now see we have 18 unreported data tasks. We didn't get to see Weasel use Aqua Jet at any time, which is unfortunate. Probably wasn't using it because I threw Roddy at it in particular. So let me try throwing Bidoof at this one. And I did not mean to get the Tumblestone there, but we'll still take it. Okay, let's try it with this guy. Come on, you. All right. Let's see some Aqua Jet here. Actually, you might be too low level to actually have it, won't you? We'll see, but we'll do our best. So we actually have rollout on Bidoof, so we'll see if we can get that to work. Unfortunately, it missed. Come on, Buizel, use your Aqua Jet. I actually don't think it's at the level yet where it can. So Bidoof will be fixated on using rollout. Buizel, attack me, dang it. It'd be really frustrating to sometimes get the tasks to work. Come on, one more time. Oh, we're just going to get quick attack. All right, well, I guess Bidoof was just going to get a free win here. Well, almost. Those quick attacks can be gnarly. And then, of course, it missed. Oh, man, we're actually going to be in trouble here, huh? No, it's just going to look around again. Well, never mind. Get rid of it. Okay, there we go. Critical hit. We'll take it. Beautiful. Okay, so that's another one down. I am going to actually switch to Starly. Now, for Starly, I actually do want to see some specific moves, I think. No, never mind. We just need to defeat and catch them. In different ways. So the way that the actual leveling works, and ooh, there it is. There it is. That's exactly what I want. Okay. Not you, Bidoof. Go away. I want that over there. Yep. Run away. Run away. Okay. So there's a couple ways I could try to catch this Eevee, but I think throwing a Pokeball at it directly is probably not the best idea. So we're going to do this. We can. There we go. Let's catch this thing unawares. Okay, so we got ourselves an Eevee here. I'm going to use Aqua Jet just once. Do a little bit of damage here. Okay, caught unawares. I think it's not super low, but I'm going to try a Pokeball here just because it does have the icon above, and it would be nice to try to catch this one immediately. Because these ones can be pretty hard to get. Yes, got it. Beautiful, and we actually caught ourselves an Eevee and got a Vivichoke out of it, which is a really nice item to have, actually. Those are pretty useful, especially this early on in the game. All right, well, I think that is going to be about it for this episode, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching. In the next episode, we're going to be continuing out here, taking care of some various things. There's a couple more things I want to draw your attention to before we venture out to where Ray is at. And at that point, we should have collected a lot of items and the like, because we're going to want to do a lot of item farming. We also have, as you can see over there, another new Pokemon that we can go after, but we'll worry about that in the next episode. So thank you all so very much for watching. I will see you all in the next one.